All right, let's talk some Green Bay Packers. Listen, kind of a bit of an odd game, right? The Packers went from giving up a touchdown in every red zone appearance to giving up like none, like having three red zone situations where they gave up nothing. Although to me, the more interesting thing is still the Packers offense. And the way this Packers offense, to me, I've seen some things that make me want to say this might actually be a more complete offense than last year. It might not score as many points because last year scored a billion points, but what it might be better at this year is kind of less game plan a bowl, if that makes sense, right? And maybe I'll get into a little bit more of that in the film study, but they look like a more complete offense now, which is saying something because it was a really complete offense last year as well. And regardless, it's just looking very good, and they had the perfect game plan as well against a not great Washington football team. So let's just get into the film study. All right, so let's start things off with this play. So first, let's talk about Washington for a second. What's the main thing that Washington, gets a lot of criticism for, or at least has gotten a lot of criticism for this season, in terms of on the football field at least, because a lot of stuff off the football field. But on the football field, the main criticism has been their linebackers' inability to cover. They have not covered well, and so Matt LaFleur and this Packers offense doing the smart thing by taking advantage of that. Because what Green Bay is going to do is they're going to run a play action and have a receiver run over the middle. This is the kind of stuff Green Bay certainly will like to do from time to time, and especially when there's a situation like this where it's a good time to do this. So again, it's not like Green Bay is the only team that does this. Every team does this, but LaFleur definitely will like to do this with setting stuff up with the running game and then throwing over the middle. Right when this play begins, you're going to see Rodgers does fake a handoff, and look at how far in the linebackers, broke trying to stop the run. And this is kind of just what makes this offense so deadly, is the idea that, they have a good running game, and so teams are literally biting too hard on a play action, and then you have Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, right? So, it's already going to be a great offense just with those two pieces, but when you add on the good running game that can allow for this kind of stuff to happen on top of that, it just makes things really difficult for an opponent, especially when you're playing an opponent that's not particularly great at that to begin with, in fairness to Washington, they actually did do a pretty good job of shutting down the run. Green Bay didn't run that much, but just a few times that Green Bay ran these play actions, they had a ton of success. I mean, as you see, when Rodgers makes this throw, it's just too easy for Rodgers to make. So you have that right off the bat, where, again, Washington stopped the run well enough, but the few times that they ran these play actions, things went well. I also liked this play. So this is going to simply just be a Aaron Rodgers type play, I feel like, where what's going to happen is it's a 4th down and 3. And I keep saying this, I feel like Rodgers is more mobile this year. I don't know any numbers to back this up, but every time I watch Rodgers, there's always seemingly 1 or 2 highlight reel plays where he's moving around, where I feel like he didn't move around as much last year, but I could be wrong about that. What we're seeing on this play is it's zone coverage, and it's, again, 4th down and 3. Very important play. For Adams, he's going to be the main guy you're going to want to watch. He's just running a quick route, try to get into a gap in coverage past the 1st down marker. It makes sense. Right when this play starts, so Rodgers takes a snap and immediately gets outside the pocket because he can. And hey, if you can get outside the pocket, give yourself an extra 3-4 seconds. Sure, that makes sense. So he could throw the ball to Adams here, but it's tough, right? I mean, if he throws the ball to Adams, there are Washington players who could potentially cover him. The real intrigue of this play, in my opinion, is that Washington football team player who I have circled in black. He could stay with Adams, and he probably should, and just trust that your teammate will run over and cover Rodgers, but that's not the decision he's going to make right here, and credit to Rodgers for noticing this, because when he runs in, Rodgers then sees that and throws it over to Adams, who's then going to pick up a touchdown right there. Just great vision, great awareness by Rodgers. What's funny is, his I own you play against the Chicago Bears, it was kind of the opposite. He faked as though he was going to throw and then ran. This time fakes as though he's going to run, ends up throwing. Great job by Rodgers and company there. You then have something like this. So this is just, again, it's one of those great plays. This is the classic Aaron Rodgers play. 3rd down and 5 right here at the 10-yard line. It's man coverage across the board, and you see Allen Lazard one-on-one matchup. Okay, that's where Rodgers is going to look towards. Sure, you could look towards Davante Adams on this play, but the safety help is certainly cheating over to that side, so you don't really want to throw it into double coverage, if you can avoid it, look to Lazard. Sure, makes sense. So Rodgers takes the snap, and as you see right here in this situation, a lot of times naturally where you'd want to throw this ball is going to be up. It's going to be sort of, you go to where Lazard is running, right? You hit him in stride. However, we all know Aaron Rodgers loves his back shoulder throws. Well, that's where he's going to look on this one. Look how Rodgers does hit that back shoulder, and Lazard is able to leap up, make the grab, and get into the end zone for a touchdown right there. So good job by Lazard. Again, good chemistry those two have. It seems like, a lot of wide receivers for Green Bay know, hey, you're going to have to go to that back shoulder. That's kind of a thing you're going to have to do. But really good throw from Aaron Rodgers. And just, again, smart football, right? Realizing where to, not just who to throw the ball to, but where to throw the ball to. Really good stuff by Rodgers. And finally, you had stuff like this where, again, it's going to be a man coverage play. And what do you do in man coverage? You figure out what the best matchup is going to be. And this time, the best matchup is actually going to be Robert Tonyan going up one-on-one against a linebacker. You get that situation, that's going to be a good situation for you. This is how Robert Tonyan had so many touchdowns last year. This is, it's smart. It makes sense to look in this direction, especially when the safety over the middle of the field will probably not be, cheating over towards Tonyan's side, right? He's going to, either stay where he's at or run towards Davante Adams, who, side note, also got wide open on this play, but that's besides the point. And so Rodgers takes a snap, and immediately, Rodgers is going to make this decision because, look at how open Tonyan got right here. It doesn't get much more open. And so this is kind of the appeal of the Packers offense. And I think it's a little bit promising, in fact, because, again, what's the criticism of the Packers offense? Because, it's still obviously a great offense, but the criticism is, well, when teams can take away Davante Adams and, take away the running game, those are two things that are tough to take away, but when we have seen teams do that, the Packers offense has struggled. Well, in this situation, their B players are stepping up. Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, Robert Tonyan, these guys are making plays. As you see, Tonyan does make this catch. Really accurate throw from Rodgers, of course. So kind of a weird game, obviously, with the whole Taylor Heinicke stuff, but really good stuff, especially on this play. Just a good route and good throw by Robert Tonyan and Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Again, there still is that whole, let's be honest, unless the Packers win a Super Bowl, there probably still is going to be that narrative of they need another receiver. But like the way these other options are playing right now, I really don't know if they need another receiver. Now, you could always use another receiver, right? But like, do they need one? I don't think that's fair. I really don't. And you take away that week one just disaster against the Saints, this team is scoring about as much as they scored last year. A little bit less, but not much less. So pretty good stuff from the Green Bay Packers. They're looking very good right now. That's what I think. What do you guys think about the Packers? Should be a fun Thursday night game with them and the Cardinals. That should be interesting. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.